What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the CFL podcast, where today we're going to be talking about the Jackson State versus Valley game. Um, the game was just very uncharacteristic for Jackson State, but I also have to give Valley their credit because they played an amazing game. I had to actually watch this more than once. Like, I watched it before I went to work, right? I watched it at work. And I went over the highlights because I didn't know what to think of this game. Like, it was just weird all around. It was just a weird game. You even got the vibe watching it. It was just weird. So we're gonna talk about that, right? But first, please do me a favor. There is a virtual assistant company by the name of Brimm Solution, Brimm. I will put the picture up for y'all to see. It is made by Howard graduate Kira Fuller. Y'all, if you need any help with anything, I'm going to put the list of services up as well. If you need any help with anything online, please visit Brim Solutions Instagram page. I'm going to put the link in the description, but I'm also going to put that picture up as well so you can see that. DM Miss Kira Fuller, inquire about her services. Like I said, you're going to see the list of services up on the screen. Y'all, she is a great help. She's helped me with my channel and is continuing to do so. And I know she'll be great for y'all. Her prices are affordable. Anything that you need done online, she is your girl. I promise you. All right. Please support black businesses. Support fellow HBCU grad as well. Thank you for that. So, back on topic, right? So, first of all, let me start by giving Valley their credit. I really want to. I'm not going to discredit them in any way for that game they played. So, first, let me say this. Their run defense was incredible. It was really good. I was thoroughly impressed by it. Overall, you held Jackson State to 39 yards on 23 attempts. That's really good. Now, it does go without saying Jackson State's run game hasn't been the best all season. That we know, but I can just see the dominance on y'all side of the ball. Like, you matched Jackson State's aggression on both sides of the line, and it paid off. Well, overall, it didn't pay off for y'all, but you came close. You won that battle in the trenches. I will say that. Partly, we'll get to that though. Also, number 6, I think his name is Keontae from Mississippi Valley State. Dude made me a fan of his yesterday. I wish I knew about him sooner, man. You talk about speed. You talking about flying to the ball. Hard hitting. I think he's a safety. Dude was everywhere. That hit he laid on Peyton Pickett, crucial. I don't know if Peyton Pickett slipped on that. I don't think it would have mattered at that point because he was there anyway. He was ready to lay the boom. Number 6, absolute baller. I'm now a fan of his. All right, now, excuse me, getting over a cold, by the way. So excuse that. The DBs were holding their own versus Jackson State's receivers. They were. I got to give them credit for that. They held their own. They were getting beat, but they also held their own. They were running with them downfield. All those 50-50 balls, they made sure like they were in play for it. A little bit of them, I think, should have been pass interference, but I wasn't gonna cry about anything because it wasn't blatantly obvious. A lot of that goes on. You just gotta fight it off and make the play. But like I said, the DBs did a absolutely great job staying with Jackson State's wide receivers. I'm taking nothing away from them. Okay, Valley's offensive line matched the aggression of JSU's defensive line, which allowed them to let Caleb Johnson go off the way he did. I like Caleb Johnson, right? Earlier in the season, he was second behind Gary Quarles. Now that has shifted as far as rushing yards go. I think he's number 5, but I think he goes up. I haven't checked the rankings yet, the stats yet, but I think he goes up after that game that he had versus JSU. Dude, that's what I like in a running back. Like, if something's not there, number 1, he has the patience to let a hole develop. And number 2, if it's not there, he's going to bounce it to the outside. He's that explosive. He's that quick. And if he's in the open field, that boy got some speed to him. Caleb Johnson, real deal. All right. That's why, when people say, Valley don't got talent, I'm like, they might not have as much as other schools, but they got talent. They got talent. Those dudes are some dogs, all right? So, talked about him, the DBs. Yeah, Caleb Johnson being impressive with his 25 attempts, 119 yards, 1 touchdown, and he averaged 5 yards a carry. If that does not speak to how well the Valley offensive line played and how well Caleb Johnson played, I don't know what else will. Credit to the offensive line for blocking downfield. They were getting to the second level, still blocking, which is why Caleb Johnson had that one big run. Caleb Johnson grinding for yards after initial contact. He does not go down easily. Legs are still churning. Loved that about him. All right. And that first touchdown that you guys had, that Valley had, that was just a great play call. Like I sat back and I watched it and I was like, ooh, like y'all got me with it. You feel me? Because like I said, nobody expected you guys to compete with Jackson State if you wanted to pass back and forth all day. That wasn't going to happen. That's not who Easton is as a quarterback. But, however, great play call to suck them in with the run and then pull the ball back out, dump the ball out to the tight end. Cam was just too slow getting there because he was distracted by the fake handoff, and it resulted in a touchdown. That was just a great play call. I really did like it. So that's all I have to say about Valley. Y'all played great. Y'all matched the intensity of Jackson State, and you deserve credit for almost pulling this thing off. You really do. Now, let me say this. Coach Prom's presence is felt. Or him not being there is felt, right? But this is the second week where they've come out looking so lifeless. Like, so lifeless, you know? Kind of like they don't want to be there. No, I get it a little bit because looking at that field, it is atrocious. I would not want to play on that thing either. There were a couple of players that I saw sliding while still engaging with offensive linemen like Antoine Owens. He slid. His knee could have really buckled. I got scared for him when I was watching that. That field is just horrible. So, you know, I get that part, you know, trying to play extra a little careful so you don't get hurt. But, I mean, you still got to give it your all, man, because every game counts. You're going to get everybody's best. But let me say this. Give credit to Coach Harrell, okay? Coach Harrell, throughout these 2 weeks, has done a really good job of getting this team prepared to play. And he's done just that. He's no Coach Prime. Obviously, he doesn't have to be. But what I'm saying is, me saying that Coach Prime's presence is missed does not mean that Coach Harrell is doing a bad job. He's doing a really good job. And I just want to say, let's give this man his credit for what he's been able to do all of a sudden in 2 weeks. We're just really happy for that man and what he was able to accomplish and that he was able to keep that streak going. So, Coach Harrell gets his credit. Now, number 20, Markel Gladney. I forgot to add this to Valley. Number 20 for name Markel Gladney. I did not know he used to play for JSU until I looked at his Instagram. He balled. He played like he had something to prove to JSU. Dude balled, and he deserves his credit as well. He was there on the drop by Trevante on the punt return. He was there making big hits. The interception, I think he made that interception over Keith Corbin. Like, he was all over the place, so give him credit as well. Now, let's get to JSU. So, the offense is what I'm going to start with first, right? Prior to what people said about the offensive line, Shedeur had time to throw. A lot of time. Like, we can say a lot of things about the offensive line, but pass blocking this game, they didn't do a bad job at all. Shedeur had time to throw. There were a couple plays where he didn't, but that's with every team. Shedeur had time to throw this game, and he did. You know, he made the right decisions and everything like that, except for one pick. We know he threw 2 picks. One wasn't his fault. Keith Corbin, I don't know what happened with him. Like, he caught it, but he didn't. Number 20 just came over and took the ball right out of his hands. Interception. But that second pick was his fault. The second pick was his fault. But just to get back to the offensive line, of Shedeur, he had a good amount of time in that pocket. And I was actually impressed by them, right? Like, they, pass blocking wise, they was on it. They was on it. I just wonder why they can't get that same momentum going running wise. I don't know what it is about them. So it was that. I talked about the picks. Let me see. Shedeur had an impressive drive when they went down 7-12. I was really impressed by him because he knew something had to be done, right? He knew the momentum was already out of Jackson State's favor, and he went and got it back. stood in that pocket, delivered throws. Not really slow and methodical, but they just went all the way down the field on the hands of Shador in that passing game. Found Keith Corbin late. We thought that was going to be, a big play in the red zone. They call it back. What does he do in the very next play? He throws an absolute beautiful dime in the corner of the end zone to Malachi Wideman. Honestly, I didn't even know what was more beautiful, the throw or the catch. I think I got to give the catch to Malachi Wideman, man. It was just a great play, and I like how he responded to that adversity. He didn't tuck his tail between his legs. He didn't get nervous. He just said, okay, it's time for us to go back out and score now. We were playing, now we got to get serious because we know what's at stake. And I like that about Shador. I like how he responded to being down 7-12. So, let me say this, right? The run game isn't happening for Jackson State this year. Excuse me. I hate to say it. I really do hate to say it. It's not happening. The run game is not happening. We know I've been banging the table for J.D. Martin to get more carries, and he did. He got 9. He got the majority of the carries out of all 3 backs yesterday. He was only able to get 19 yards and average 2.1 yards a carry. Santee Marshall, 5 attempts, 16 yards, 3.2 yards a carry. Peyton Pickett, 5 attempts, 4 yards, 0.8 yards a carry. The running game is not happening, and I blame both the O-line and the running backs because, sure, there were plays where the offensive line could not get any push, right? So the running backs couldn't do anything, but there were also plays where Peyton Pickett would get the ball and he had no patience, right? He just hit a hole. He had no patience, and a hole was just open up, and he's already tackled because he just ran straight in the middle. It got no gain. So, I blame both of them. Honestly. Also, I'm not upset with the play calling at all. It wasn't a problem to me, except for the screens. We got to stop the screens. It's not working. It never will work. I've seen one time where it worked, to be honest with you, back in the Southern Heritage Classic with Joshua Lanier. After that, I haven't really seen much success with the screenplays. Let's just cut that out. It's not going to happen. Other than that, I'm not really upset with the play calling at all. Honestly, that's just not something I can critique yesterday. The play calling wasn't bad. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. Whether you want to give that up to execution or whatever. It just, it didn't always work out. Let me see. So I'm also glad that all 3 backs got a chance, right? All 3 running backs, Pickett, Marshall, and Martin. I'm glad that all 3 of them got chances to show what they can do. But now that we've seen it, the running game isn't going to be there, and we have to accept that. I've been saying that weeks ago, but I really need y'all to get it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If they can produce at least 60 plus yards at least, then fine. Jackson State will be in better position, but don't expect like multiple 100-yard games at any point during the rest of the season. It's just not coming. It's sad to say, but it's just not gonna happen. Now it will be interesting to see how that translates to them playing in the cold weather. It's only going to get colder from here. Teams like to run the ball during that time. It's gonna be interesting to see how Jackson State adjusts to that, but we'll see. So let me see. Isaiah Bowden is a good replacement for Warren Newman on kick return. Warren Newman, I don't know if I still have the video or not, but he was working out with his trainer, so I feel like he's coming along fine. Hopefully he'll be back soon. That's telling me that it's nothing major, and he'll find his way back to the field soon. Still praying for that speedy recovery. Trevonte Rucker made a great play. That 75-yard catch was the only one he had, but he broke 2 tackles. He was able to accelerate to the end zone. Great job by him. I breathed a sigh of relief when he did that, because I was just like, I was at the edge of my seat like, boy, are they gonna get upset by Valley? Is this really gonna happen? But it didn't. So Trevonte, that was just a great play by you, bruh. Now, The defense is the last thing, obviously, that I'm going to talk about, right? That's all I had to say about the offense. So as far as the defense goes, great job stepping up to make plays when it needed to be made. You had really good pressure on Jelani Eason all game. Like I said in the Keys to the Game video, Jelani Eason is not going to beat you passing the ball. He's going to beat you on read option and throwing those quick outs when you think it's going to be a run. And I was right. He went 14 for 26, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, but 4 interceptions. So, great job on that front. The defense was also very attentive. The fumble recovery, every pick that was made, y'all was very attentive. You flew to the ball. You made a play when it needed to be made. Not really missed opportunities on the defense. I was really happy that y'all were that plugged in after a while and said, "Hey, we need to get serious. This game is a little too close. Let's get on our stuff and get back to playing how we play." Now, it brings me with sadness to say this, but we need to be realistic. CJ Holmes, he's getting beat a lot. And I'm like, I see it on a weekly basis. Like, people are picking on him now because he always seems to be getting beat. And, luckily for him, it doesn't really turn into anything because the quarterbacks always miss the throw due to the pressure of the front seven. But CJ Holmes, man, I don't know. We might gotta move him around a little bit, find what works for him best, and just try to work with him. But this is becoming a weekly thing now, and I know y'all. I can't be the only one who sees that. Twice this game, he almost got beat on big plays. As a matter of fact, I don't know what can be done about CJ Holmes. I just think he needs a lot of attention. When you watch film and address this in the upcoming week of practice, CJ Holmes needs to be addressed. Something that bothered me, right? How is that not a safety by James Houston? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Those refs infuriated me that game. At this point, y'all have told me SWAC refs aren't the best. I see that, but my God, how is that not a safety? That's all I just want to say about that. That should have been a safety. It wasn't. I'm just like, okay, like I don't know what y'all are doing or what y'all are looking at, but whatever. Run defense has to be better. You gave up almost 5 yards to carry this game. Very uncharacteristic of you. You made stops when it needed to be made, and I give you credit for that. But overall, it just wasn't the best performance that you had all season. It wasn't. And I see that y'all are still living up to the bend but don't break mantra. But y'all bent a little too much this game. Just a little too much. But, I'm not going... Nobody should panic about Jackson State, I don't know why, there were people who wanted JSU to, blow out Valley. Like, they were saying they were going to blow out Valley. This is not the spring anymore. These teams are different. They have a revamped team. Every team does. They got transfers and talent coming in, who have came in. This Valley team, other than the 2 FCS opponents that are not HBCUs, we're sticking with everybody this year, Alcorn included. So I don't know what would make y'all think that JSU should be the only team that should blow them out. I don't get that expectation. Valley is a really feisty team whose record does not define who they are. Like, they've been in close games all year. So overall, they didn't play up to their potential. That's just my takeaway. JSU did not play up to their potential, but they did what needed to be done when it needed to be done, and they came out with the win. Hopefully they bounce back and they play better next week. So, because Andrew Body is coming. All right. So, like I said, y'all, I apologize, man. I'm really still under the weather, still getting over a cold. So, I got to do multiple pauses in between the videos just to go cough or something. But with that being said, man, I really do appreciate y'all for rocking with my content and everything like that and supporting my channel. With that being said, man, you are watching the CFL podcast. I go by the name of Kobe, and I'm out. Peace.